Hello viewers, welcome to today's lesson. This is Form 1 Mathematics under regular polygons. But before we begin, if you have just come across this channel for the first time, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell below so that anytime we do a video like this, you'll automatically be notified. So when we talk about regular polygons, a polygon is a plane figure that is bounded by 3 or more lines, but a polygon is said to be regular if all the sides and all the angles are equal. So we are going to go through the basic formulae that we are going to use under this section, and the first formula or principle is if you want to find the sum interior angles of any regular polygon, we take 2n minus 4, we multiply by 90, or we can also use n minus 2 into 180, which is the same as the first one if you open that bracket. The number 2, the sum exterior angles of any regular polygon must add up to 360. I repeat, any regular polygon. Number 3, if you want to find the size of each exterior angle, you take the total sum of exterior angles, which is 360 degrees, you divide by n, where n represents the number of sides, where n is equals to the number of sides of that polygon. Then number 4, a very important principle is if you take each exterior angle plus the corresponding interior angle, the total must be equal to 180 degrees, since the exterior and the interior lie on a straight line. Then number 5, sometimes you can get a question that requires you to calculate the number of triangles, and the number of triangles of any polygon are usually less by 2 from the number of sides, and therefore it is going to be equal to n minus 2. Once you have all these basic principles, you'll be able to work out any question from this section. This is our first question, and the question reads: the sum of interior angles of a regular n-sided polygon is 1080 degrees. Find the size of each interior angle of the polygon. What is the name of the polygon? The first thing you need to understand is that we have the sum, and the sum of the interior angles is given as 1080 degrees, and we know to find the sum, the formula is 2n minus 4, we multiply by 90, and this must be able to give us 1080. That must be able to give us 1080. From there, if we open up the brackets, we have 2n times 90, we are going to have 180n. Then negative 4 times 90, we are going to have 360, and this one is going to be equal to 1080 degrees. From there, we collect the like terms. We have 180n, which is equivalent to 360, and 1080 are like terms, so 360 moves to the other side. Since it is a negative, it is going to be positive, and therefore we are going to have 1080. We add 360, and this one here is going to give us 180n is equivalent to 1080 plus 360 will give us 1400, and from there, if you want to get the value of n, we divide by 180. We divide by 180. This one and this one goes, and our n is going to be equal to, that is 1400. Using our calculator, 1400 divided by 180, it is going to give us no, this one is 1440. This one is 1440. And if you take 1440, you divide by 180, it is going to give us 8 sides. It is going to give us 8 sides. And therefore, the name of this polygon is going to be an octagon. So let us give it the name straight. The name is going to be an octagon. The name of this polygon is going to be an octagon, but we are supposed to find the size of each interior angle. To find each exterior first, each exterior is given by 360, we divide by n, and therefore we have 360, we divide by 8. This one is going to give us 360 divided by 8. This one gives us 45. 45 is each exterior, but we know if you take exterior plus interior, we are going to get 180. Therefore, each interior angle is going to be equal to 180 minus each exterior is 45. And if you take 180 minus 45, it is going to give us 135 degrees, and that is the answer to that question. That is the name of the polygon based on the number of sides is an octagon. Then the size of each interior is 135. Let us do question number 2. The question reads, the size of an interior angle of a regular polygon is 156. Find the number of sides of the polygon. But we know that if you take each interior plus the corresponding exterior, the total must give you 180 degrees. So each interior is going to be equal to 180 minus 156, and this one is going to give us 24 degrees. This one is going to give us 24 degrees. And we know to get the number of sides here, which is n actually, is going to be equal to 360 divided by each exterior angle. You divide by each exterior angle, and our exterior has already been found as 24. And therefore, our n is going to be equal to 360. You divide by 24, and this one is going to be equal to 25. This one is going to be equal to, this one is once, therefore it is going to be equal to 15 sides. This one is going to give us 15 sides. So let us go to our last question. We go to our question number 3, which is perhaps the last one under this lesson. The question goes, the sum of interior angles of a regular polygon is 24 times the size of each exterior angle. And we know when we talk about the sum of interior, we know sum of interior angles are given by 2n minus 4 times 90, and this sum is 24 times the size of an exterior angle, and we know each exterior angle is given by 360 because the sum total of exterior is 360. You divide by the number of sides. Well, we are told that the sum is 24 times the exterior angle. So what we are going to do, we are going to multiply each exterior by 24 times so that the two are equal. Therefore, we know 2n minus 4 into 90 will be equal to, this is each exterior angle, which is 360 divided by n. If we multiply this by 24, because this one is the one that is 24 times, if we multiply this by 24 times, then the two are going to be equal, and from there we can be able to solve the question without any problem. From there now, if we open the brackets, we are going to have 90 times 2n, which is 180n, then minus 4 times 90 will give us 360 degrees. That is, let us just maintain it like that. And this one is going to be equal to, we can just multiply inside 24 times 360. 24 times 360. This one is going to give us 8640. 8640 divided by n. So what we are going to do to get rid of this n, if we multiply each side by n, then here by n, this one and this one goes, and therefore we have n times 180, which is going to give us 180n squared. Then n times minus 360, it will give us minus 360n, which is equivalent to 8640. And if we bring 8640 to this other side, we are going to have an expression which is quadratic in nature. Therefore, we have 180n squared minus 360n minus 8640. This one must be equal to 0, and this one is quadratic in nature. What we do, if we simplify using the common factor here, and I think the common factor is 180, so 180 divided by 180, we are going to have n squared, then minus 360 divided by 180, we are going to have 2n, then minus 8640 divided by 180, we are going to get 48, and this one is equal to 0. So if I bring our quadratic equation here, n squared minus 2n minus 48 is equals to 0. We can use either quadratic formula method, completing square method, we can use factorization and even graphical to work out this question, but I prefer we use factorization. Under factorization, we are going to use product sum factor, and our product is going to be equal to the coefficient of n squared, which is 1. We multiply by our constant c to give us minus 48, and we know for us to get the sum, it is always equal to the coefficient of b. In this case, our b is n, and therefore our sum is 2. To get the numbers whose product is negative 48, and the same numbers will give you a sum of negative 2, we are going to have negative 8 and positive 6, such that negative 8 times 6 you get minus 48, and negative 8 plus 6 you get a negative 2. So what we are going to do next, it is to rewrite this expression afresh, that is n squared. This time round we replace the middle number using the numbers. This one is going to be minus 8, but of course n, then plus 6n, such that minus 8n plus 6n will give you minus 2n, then we minus 48. From this point here, we can be able to factorize this in pairs. So if we pick this first pair here, we look at what is common between n squared and 8n, and we can see n is common. So if we take n times something here, it will give us n squared, and therefore it is n. Then the number we are going to put here times n to give us minus 8n, it is going to be equal to minus 8. Then we consider this other pair. Between 6n and 48, we realize 6 can divide itself. It can also divide 48, and therefore 6 is common, into which number we're supposed to put here times 6 to give us 6n? It is of course n. Then any number to put here so that we multiply by 6, it gives us minus 48. It is going to be minus 8, and this one is going to be equal to 0. From there, we combine those factors which are outside. That will be n and a 6. Since 6 is positive, this one is going to be plus, and we pick one bracket which is n minus 8, and this one is going to give us 0. Therefore, we can take n plus 6 is equals to 0, and our n is going to be equal to minus 6. Or if we take n minus 8 is equals to 0, if we take 8 to the other side, it's going to be positive, and our n is going to be 8. So we ignore the negative answer, then we pick our positive value because the number of sides cannot be negative. So the first one, we are supposed to calculate the number of sides, and the number of sides are 8. And lastly, we are supposed to give the name of the polygon. Since the polygon has 8 sides, then the name here is going to be an octagon. The name is going to be an octagon, and that is the solution for this question.